Study Section 4. Drama in West Africa. Introduction. This lecture is designed to expose students to drama in West Africa. That as a region, West Africa has some unique characteristics that distinguishes her from other regions in the development of drama. Objectives. At the end of this lecture, students should be able to explain in concrete terms the peculiarity of West African drama as distinct from other regions. Content. Modern West African drama began as a form of imitative drama. It is a response to both traditional and modern experiences. Before the attainment of independence by most West African states, most of the dramas produced were largely European in nature. In Ghana, Nigeria, and Sierra Leone, for example, there were concerts, opera, Christmas show, where the concerns of the colonialists of these regions. As a result, the natives also aspired to write, with the belief that colonists could also write. Hence, we have writers like James Ensel of Nigeria and Esmond of Sierra Leone. Modern West African drama of English expressions first writers wrote what could be termed as propagandist plays, the purpose of which is usually to demonstrate a political or cultural point of view. And Ensel's aim for writing his play is, as he himself has implied repeatedly, to make good citizens of his audience. He wants to reconcile the African traditional system to other systems of the Western world by dwelling on what is essentially good in each, and thus produce harmonious blend. The dramatic situation in his 7 plays is usually the same. There is a simple conflict between tradition and modernism. Then, the conflict suddenly assumes enormous proportions, and after a great display of passion, the situation is miraculously resolved, with modernism triumphing, although with an admixture of what is considered good in tradition. After this, everybody lives happily thereafter. This is Our Chance, 1965, and Children of the Goddess, 1957. 2 of Ensel's plays suffice to illustrate this point. Ensel wrote, "This is Our Chance," when nationalist feelings were at their peak in Nigeria, and this may be responsible for its optimism and tendentious tone. According to Onye Ogumba, the thought pattern in This is Our Chance is similar to the philosophy of progress of many African states, and the Ensels appear to have merely written this play to illustrate this overriding philosophy. 1971, page 82. In concrete terms, within the context of present-day Nigeria, this play is an appeal directed towards the Igbo and Ibibio of Nigeria to make their age-long squabbles and prepare for the great talk of the future. Thus, the play, standing as a work of art, is gravely compromised, since it merely seeks to support a commonplace political philosophy of good neighborliness. In this place, Ensel makes no pretense at any sound knowledge of dramatic composition. The argument line is too often sounds like a secondary school debate on tradition, with native points confidently thrown across by defending parties. Also, the events in the play are manipulated to suit the prevailing philosophy, with a generous use of the device of the deus ex machina to produce a satisfying solution. The language too shows the same ineptitude. There are disturbing echoes of Elizabethan verbal artificiality. The second play of Angel, Children of the Goddess, hardly shows any improvement in matter and form over its predecessor. There is the same puerile ideal of showing an obvious, stereotyped clash of traditional and modern forms, the same overgenerous use of deus ex machina, and the same unedifying language. In Sarif Esamon, the second playwright in this category, his works Dear Parents and Urge and The New Patriots, Esamon appears sophisticated and hardly craves for a schoolboy audience, unlike Angel. Also, it creates situations of enlightenment in ultramodern contemporary West African environments, instead of the rural innocent countryside of 100 years ago, typical of Angel. Besides, his characters are not ignorant, traditional chief and priest asking naive questions. Dear Parents and Urge is a play that seeks also to portray political philosophy, that one should reward talent, that there is a nobility among the so-called lower classes and ex-slaves, that neither tribalism nor a false pretense of ancient glory has a place in the new African. In the words of Onyi Ogumba, one is not contending the popularity in certain quarters of these two playwrights, Sarif Esmond and Ene Esho. One is saying this apparent success is based on the sentiments they express rather than on their artistic value. In dramatic arts, one is looking for qualities that transcend time and place, qualities that portray, with understanding, the magnitude of the human problem. In addition, the conflict in a play does not need to be resolved. Drama as an art form is liberal enough to accommodate disparate views without necessarily adopting any of them. After independence, however, the tone and general approach to modern West African drama of English expression changed. This also coincided with Pan-Africanism or negritude, a political process, socio-ideological and philosophical movements. Its aim is to prove that black man has culture, tradition, and history. The exponents were Leopold Sedar, Sego, Edward, Blading, and Kwame Nkrumah, according to M. Cicere. To set our own an effective revolution, we had first to put off our borrowed dresses, those of assimilation, and affirm our being, that is our negritude. To be truly ourselves, we ought to embody the Negro African culture in the realities of the 20th century. For our negritude to be an effective instrument of celebration, we had to shake off the dust and assert it in the international movement of the contemporary world, 1978 to 31. To Cicere, therefore, negritude is ontological as a concept, that is, with special reference to the cultural being or existence of the black man, and it is politically only in the objective of the movement to fight assimilation and achieve liberation. However, this movement, negritude, was not without its shortcoming. It's a form of an inverted racism, that is, in the bid to be culturally independent, goes to the extreme edge of saying that there is nothing good about the Western European culture, which had nurtured them for a very long time. This is the major reason why Wole Soyinka, the major critics of the negritude movement, dissociated himself from the movement. According to Soyinka, a tiger does not boast of its negritude, it acts. As a result of the shortcoming of this movement, it later became a criminal movement that could be likened to drug or appetite, that one could not easily associated with aside its shortcomings. Importantly, negritude movements brought certain landmark complementation to modern African drama. For example, the introduction of drum, dance, and poetry to West African drama was brought about by negritude. In the bid to domesticate West African drama, for example, most of the play of Wale Uyemi fall under the historical and traditional aesthetics. The popular drama also has its own input on drama in West Africa. Herbert Ogunde was locked up by Chief Akintola and his theatre band after staging Yoruba Ronu, a political satire, largely as would be explored in succeeding lectures. Most of the plays are social commentary, mainly satire. It is paramount to note that the prevalence of drama is criticized in West Africa as too luxuriant. It is believed that West African drama lacks the potency and necessary aggression to be presented as a serious literature. It is believed that there is no anger in it. This has been adduced to the fact that most West African states got their independence on a platter of gold. It was settled on the table through leisurely dialogue. It is believed that most of the West African states did not fight or struggle for their independence. Resultantly, this reflected in their literary works, plays. Unlike South Africa and East Africa, who is believed to produce more serious literature directly linked with the destiny of the people. In West Africa, it is believed there is more of comedy and melodrama, content-determined form. However, West African drama is not drama for drama's sake. It also expresses radicalism and disillusionment with post-independence reality. The post-independence era, which the writers await, bountifully turns out to be disastrous and frustrating. Rather than the expected bounty and prosperity, we have poverty, unemployment. All their hopes and expectations became shattered. All these realities are some of the tensions reflective of collapse of the nurtured optimum of the independence era. Almost all the writers reflected this disappointment in their works. For example, Olarotimi, Femi Oshofisan, Sulu Sofola, Bode Sowande, all these playwrights made valuable contributions to redress through drama these ills. Summary. In this lecture, it was explained that West African drama of English expression is a response to both traditional and modern experiences. We also explored the works of pioneer playwrights like Enshaw and Esamon, that their work is a form of simple conflict between tradition and modernism, that they only wrote as a form of response to nationalistic failings without regards for creativity and art. We also examined negritude as a major influence on West African dramatists. The West African drama has been criticized of as social commentary and existentialist in nature, that it lacks the aggression as one finds in East and South Africa. On the last note, we were able to establish that West African drama is not dormant. It expressed its disappointment through radical means with post-independent states. End of study section 4. Thanks for listening.